Okay, so today we have David Bowie and Young Americans 2016 remaster, if that means anything. It's been a minute since I've done a David Bowie song, and Young Americans sounds like a familiar title, but I don't know if I know it. Anyway, we'll see. It's from the same titled album. So yeah, let's get into it and talk about it after, and I'll see if I recognize it when we go. Want to kick off his shoes.
They pulled in just behind the bridge. He lays her down. He frowns. Gee, my life's a funny thing. Am I still too young? He kissed her then and there. She took his ring, took his babies. It took him minutes, took her nowhere. Heaven knows he'd have taken anything. All night. She wants a young American.
Young American, young American. She wants the young American. All night.
But she wants the young American. Standing right through the picture window, she finds a slinky vagabond. He coughs as he passes a Ford Mustang. Heaven forbid she take anything but the freak and his title for nothing. This is a step and cuts his hand, showing nothing. It slips like a song. She cries, where have all Papa's heroes gone?
All night.
She wants a young American.
Young American, young American. She wants the young American. All night.
Well, she wants the young American. All the way from Washington. Her breadwinner begs off the bathroom floor. We live for just these 20 years. Do we have to die for the 50 more? And all night, he wants the young American.
Young American,
Yes, he does.
young American. He wants the young American.
All right,
All right.
well, he wants the young American. Do you remember your President Nixon? Do you remember the bills you have to pay, or even yesterday?
Congress.
Have you been on American? Just you and your idle cymbal set so loud. Leather, leather everywhere, and not a miss left from the ghetto. Well, would you carry a visa? Just in case of depression. Sit on your hands on the bus of survivors, blushing at all the Afro-Sheilas. Ain't that close to love? Well, ain't that close to love? Well, it ain't that far to go. Her heart's been broken just like you have. All night, what the young American,
Young American,
young American.
you want the young
All right, all right. You want the young American. You ain't a pimp, you ain't a horse. A pimp's got a canyon, a lady got a Chrysler. Black's got the stacker, white's got a soul train. Mama's got tramps, and look at your handshake.
I heard the news today, oh boy.
I got a sweet hand, you got the beat. Is there a man who can say no more? Is there a woman I can suck on the jaw? Is there a child I can help with that judging? Is there a pen that will write before they die? Ain't you proud that you stuck our faces? Ain't there one dance song that can make me break down and cry? Oh, I want the young American.
Young American,
The young American.
I want the young American.
Oh,
All right, David Bowie, Young Americans. So yeah, I have not heard that song before, which I'm surprised by because of its popularity I see on YouTube and such. But yeah, it's not familiar. I do know this was one of two singles released with this album, and I have heard of Fame, which was the other one, which is actually one of my favorite Bowie songs I've heard. But yeah, I'm just surprised I have not heard this. But this song, I mean, what really caught me, I guess what I can start off with is David Bowie's vocals. I mean, it's obvious, like, with how David Bowie kind of had so many, I guess you would say, characters, personas, whatever words you want to use. But like just his vocal ability, just, especially, I guess it was in the third verse where I kind of caught it more, I guess closely, where he said, when he said, "Have you ever been the un-American, just you and your idol sing falsetto about leather everywhere and not a myth left from the ghetto." But when he was singing that, and he talked about falsetto, and he kind of uses falsetto voice, and also just, yeah, he just changed kind of back and forth, like not even really just back and forth, but he just kind of changed his vocal style every now and then during the song, and it's just kind of surprised me. I was just like, whoa, I was just taken aback. And also, I mean, it's just, it obviously just goes to show how, I guess how talented Bowie was, which, I mean, I don't think I have to tell anybody that watching this. But yeah, I mean, his voice was just incredible, and I always just liked his style. And yeah, it's just especially with how it kind of started, I guess, with the first verse here. I mean, I I kind of get, like, I guess what he's saying, but hold the phone. I just wanted to look at the lyrics again just for myself here at the start. But yeah, when he says he kissed, well, actually, I'll just say the whole thing. He lays her down, he frowns. That's, that might not be a good sight. Gee, my life's a funny thing. Am I still too young? Which, I don't know, kind of made me laugh, because, like, you have this, I guess, this woman in front of him, and then he's kind of having a, a crisis before he's gonna, go down on a woman, I guess you would say. And I don't know, I just picture that. It's like, whoa, am I still too young for this? It's just like, what the hell? Anyway. And then, anyway, yeah, he kissed her then and there. She took his ring, took his babies. And when he said took his babies, I was like, I guess that doesn't mean, she took, well, yeah, I guess at the same time she did take his babies, as in, in his private area and all that stuff. Anyway, and then they had babies, of course, and got married, I guess. It took him minutes, took her nowhere. Heaven knows she'd have taken anything but. So I guess, obviously, it took him a little bit of time to do the deed. And then also, I am on Genius here, so there are some annotations, and there's this one annotation for heaven knows she'd have taken anything. It said, it didn't even have to be this particular man. Any young American would do. She wants to get out of her current situation, and likely, and any likely lad who will marry her and take her away will work. So yeah, it's just like, this guy's not very special. He's just a young American. And I guess that's when it goes into the chorus, she wants the young American, she wants the young American, she wants the young American. And there's an annotation here. So I guess this would be important just for me, because again, I've never heard the song. So it says, what in just about any other song would be a swinging, rousing chorus, and this one turns into bitterly ironic commentary. There's a long thing here, but I'll just read some of it. Take the chorus out of context and all the wonderful backing vocals, which I liked the backing vocals very much as well. I thought they fit in very well behind Bowie. And it goes on, and life affirming all night and all right would make you think that this is a romantic paean, I guess, yeah, paean to partying with young Americans. Plus youth in America both evoke expanding horizons, youth's infinite possibilities in America as a promised land of opportunity and upward mobility. But following on the heels of each verse's gloomy scenario, this catchy chorus creates an ironic contrast meant to underscore the gap between youthful dreams and desires and the dark reality. So yeah, okay. So yeah, I mean, there's more to the song than meets the eye, I guess you would say, because the verses are kind of more dark, I guess you would say, and yeah, the chorus is kind of like, it's catchy. Like I said, how the song started off, you kind of wanted to kick off your shoes and just, I don't know, lay back and just listen. But yeah, it's like, when you get down to it, obviously there's more to this, and it's kind of a depressing little tale, I guess you would say, especially with how it started off, how she was saying any man will do. It's just like, well, at that point, I mean, that's not the mentality you should have for, having a married or guy in your life, or a husband, whatever. Anyway, I do want to look at the personnel here, just to talk about the song more because I liked a lot of what was going on here. Because I said during the song, the congas, which I heard at one point, which was just very, I don't know, it was very, what could I say, numbing, I guess you would, I don't know, in a good way. It was like I liked the sound a lot. It was just very good to my ears, I guess you could say. Anyway, Larry Washington was on the congas, and of course the saxophone, which I caught on, obviously, right at the start, but David Sanborn. I guess I'll go through all of it just because. At vocals, guitar, David Bowie, Carlos Alomar on guitar, Willie Weeks on bass. And this is what I noticed a lot with David Bowie songs. There's always so many people in the song. And yeah, anyway, going on here. Mike Garson on piano, Andy Newmark on drums, and then we have Ava Cherry on backing vocals, and Robin Clark on backing vocals, and Luther Vandross on backing vocals. And again, I really like the backing vocals on this track. They kind of obviously kind of made the chorus what it was. And like it said, even though it's, you know, kind of a happy sounding chorus, there's more to it than that, obviously, with what the verses say. And how I guess Bowie kind of delivers the verses as well. Anyway, it does say here, Young Americans on Wikipedia. Young Americans was a breakthrough for Bowie in the United States, and it said later on Bowie described the sound as plastic soul. It also says it's matched with a cynical lyric, which again I was talking about earlier, kind of making reference to Black repression via Rosa Parks, Richard Nixon, of course, you know, what he was going on at that point, and a near direct lift from the Beatles' A Day in the Life with the line I heard in the news today, oh boy, which I did catch as well, which I thought, obviously I thought of the Beatles when I heard that, and it said John Lennon, who wrote that line, appeared twice on the Young Americans album, so that's pretty cool as well. And of course, Young Americans providing guitar and backing vocals on his own Across the Universe and Fame, for which he also received a co-writing credit. But yeah, Across the Universe, which is, you know, one of the Beatles' best songs. It's cool to know that John was on a Bowie song. I did not know that. Anyway, I didn't read the about, I guess, for Genius, which I usually do, but anyway, I guess we'll kind of finish it off here with this. I don't want this video to be too long, and I've already talked too much. Anyway, Young Americans is the result of Bowie's obsession with soul music and a hodgepodge of political and social imagery. Bowie paints us an image of the America he saw. It goes on about the backing vocals, which I've already said. The original single radio version of the song skips from the first chorus to the bridge, omitting verse 2 and a second refrain of the chorus, and then skips from the third line of verse 3 to verse 4. And it goes on, Young Americans was ranked number 486 on Rolling Stone's list of the 500 greatest songs of all time. And I always kind of laugh at, you know, the 500 greatest songs of all time, you know, Rolling Stone's lists. I know they've put out a few, and it's like, how do you rank, I don't know, how do you rank, like, songs like that? I don't know. It's just, I mean, at the end of the day, it's hard to do that. Anyway, yeah, so this is obviously quite the opener for the album, 1975, and I do see, you know, in the comments on the YouTube video, that, you know, this was such a great tune, and I can imagine, you know, hearing this live. I mean, I can imagine, you know, if you saw Bowie live anywhere, if you just saw him live doing anything, I mean, that'd be pretty freaking cool, because he was, you know, one of the most enigmatic figures of all time in music, and anyway, yeah, I mean, it's just, I wish it would be great to see him live, but obviously that is not going to happen anymore. So yeah, anyway, I guess that's all I got to really say. I mean, again, the whole thing about, you know, do you remember your President Nixon? Do you remember the bills you have to pay, or even yesterday? Have you been the Un-American? I mean, yeah, it's just like that sweet sound, but it's not so sweet, you know. And then the fourth verse, you ain't a pimp, you ain't a hustler. A pimp's got a caddy, and a lady got a Chrysler. Black's got respect, and white's got his soul train. Mama's got cramps, and look at your head ache, or hands ache. So yeah, it's just, I mean, the Soul Train, obviously the movement of the 70s, by mostly, I guess, black people. You know, I heard the news today, oh boy, I mean, that's when they had the Beatles line there, and, you know, just, I mean, Bowie was just going in here, and it also says, yeah, Lennon appeared on, like I said, on Fame as well, which I'd have to listen to that again just to hear Lennon again, because I'd never really paid attention, but I really like that song, and yeah, so I mean, it's a sweet song with more to it than that meets the eye. I mean, the whole thing, young American. I want the young American. All I want is the young American. And I love, everything I've heard from Bowie. I love how he would do this kind of a thing, but also make you think, that there's more to the song than what you think. And I just think that's pretty cool. Anyway, I guess that's enough. Thanks for watching. Thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting. Really appreciate all the support. My God. And I will talk to you guys again soon.